Well, I'm Auckland, and I'm back with my best friend, Bible Gamer 3091, and we're doing the podcast style video number 3. So, I'm Auckland. If you enjoy my content, please hit the subscribe button, like button, also share with your friends if you don't mind. Also, please comment, ask me a question, or comment in general. I'll do my best to answer them. Also, if you don't mind, hit the notification bell down below, and you will be notified when I go live or upload another video. If you want to become a fan of me, Auckland, then subscribe to the channel, and you will become a fan. I hope so. Alright. So, how you want to get started with this, man?
Well, for one thing, I've been kind of debating if I want to try to start doing a channel myself. I'm trying to figure out like what kind of different things I could put on the channel. What kind of things you guys would be interested in. So I kind of want to maybe, because even though I'm not a serious gamer, I do play a lot of games when I'm off work and all that, those kind of things. So,
I'm not a serious gamer either. So.
But I don't know about doing some comedy videos, or some people that will take my jokes. They'll either be like, I'm not so sure about that.
I think that man was serious about what he just said.
Was he serious about that? Or it's like, no, I don't want to, so
I don't think I want to go there.
They're gonna be like, that was corny, man. Why'd you have to bring that up? But anyway.
Now you're talking about corny. Never mind, I ain't going there.
We could go a long ways with that, but I don't think you want to know. But
nah.
Anyway. But I will start by saying this: is that if I were to choose my favorite console, I would have to say right now it's the Nintendo Switch.
Yes, the Switch is fantastic.
I would say, it's funny because, growing up in the 90s playing all those Nintendo games, I never thought I would get drawn in, but I think what the Switch has done has made me say, I want to buy more games.
I think my go-to console back in the day was the Genesis, because my favorite game I played a lot was either Sonic or sometimes even Rocket Knight Adventure. I'll have to show you what that is a little bit later. But you play as a rat. He has a backpack that has it's like a hovering backpack, and it allows you to fly and stuff. It's really, really cool. It's like they took inspiration from Sonic and made Rocket Knight Adventures. It's fantastic.
It sounds a little bit like Ratchet and Clank too, kind of.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. But yeah, fantastic. Sega Genesis. I really wish Sega would make some more consoles, but.
Well, I think it's pretty cool that they've been transporting all the ports from the Sega Genesis, especially if you have the Nintendo Switch online. If you have that, you can play some of the Sega Genesis games. So
that's true. I'll tell you.
I tell you, I think. Everybody's talking about there's this console war going on between Xbox
like it was
and PlayStation.
Back in the day. You had Sega, you had Nintendo, you had PlayStation, and maybe even Xbox's war as well. People will go back and forth. Oh, the Super Nintendo was better. The Sega Genesis was better because we got better sound and better graphics, which was true. But also the Super Nintendo had some really good sound and really good graphics depending on each of the games, and they went competition. And nowadays it's more like power. My console does 4K 120. The Switch only does 1080p, and it's just, it needs 4K, and that's, I don't know.
And everybody's having questions up in the air because we've had these Nintendo Directs for a while.
Yeah.
This last Direct that we had that had the Tears of the Kingdom, of course, that just came out.
Oh my goodness!
And
yes.
which we're going to talk about that in just a minute.
We're going to do a review on that in this video.
But yeah, I mean, Nintendo. One of the things I've always loved about Nintendo has been the variety of games. The problem that's going on with Xbox, and I love Xbox. I play a little bit of Minecraft on Xbox.
Who hasn't?
Me and the buddy of mine play Destiny. Of course, some people see Destiny is a game whether you either love it or you don't love it.
Right.
That game has been out since, I don't know, 10 years maybe? I don't know. It's been out for a long time.
It's not for me, and like I've joked with my friend here, by the time I get into Destiny Destiny, it'll probably be Destiny 3 by the time I get to it.
You see, Destiny's more for those high-profile gamers, I think, because
That ain't me.
you gotta know exactly where to go at one point. You got to make sure you're quick as far as like how you shoot your enemies.
It's too much for me.
It's too much, yeah. But I would say that Halo is a lot better than Destiny, in my opinion. But
yeah, because I grew up playing side scrollers, and you go from left to right, and that's how the game goes.
you know, there are a lot of those kind of games that people don't really talk about anymore. You know, there was that Max of Brotherhood.
Oh,
Brotherhood of Max.
Max
I'm
and
saying
the
it
Curse
backwards,
of
but-
Brotherhood for Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that's a side scroller. That one. And then you have Metroid Dread. Now they put a little. I know a few months ago they did like a little. They did a thing of.
They put-
you could play the game, but if you die one time, you go all the way back.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
and-
like, no thanks.
but thanks to Nintendo, they did give it a update. Now you can have an easy mode. So when I do finally get the game, you know what I'm doing, easy mode.
Yeah, easy mode. Yeah, of course some of you guys will be like, yeah, I like to play it on the most difficult level.
I got
I'm
this.
on top of the world. I'm gonna speed run through this whole
I'm gonna
thing.
put it on hard mode. If the enemy takes me out one hit, it's too bad. I got this.
It's like I got the sword before y'all even got it. And I'm like, well, good for
Well,
you.
yippee-ki-yay, what you gonna do now?
It's like oh, it's too bad you probably broke the game in doing that. So
It's
don't
like,
do that.
since you done that, you want a cookie now? Oh, you want a cookie? Sorry, I don't have any.
But then you get some of these games that Nintendo's come up with, the creativity.
Oh, I know.
The problem with PlayStation and Xbox is the creativity is not there as far as like, because all they're going with, okay, who are the fans enjoying right now? Okay, they enjoy Call of Duty. We'll just go with another game.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily come up with all these creative things like the indie games. Now, I understand there are a lot of fans out there that don't really care a whole lot about the indie games.
I think they're pretty cool.
But there are some, you can find a lot of good ones now.
Like,
Go ahead.
like the popular video game series Shantae. Shantae is an indie series. People love Shantae. It's fantastic. That's an indie game.
Now, I haven't played that, but I would love to be able to play those kind of games.
Oh, it's good.
I love the side scrollers, and
Oh,
you
it's
know,
good. It's good.
now PlayStation did show one side scroller game. I think it was called what was,
I don't remember.
I can't say the word, but
I talked about it in my video. I think I couldn't pronounce the game.
yeah, you
so
couldn't pronounce it.
I spelled it
It was
best I
that
could.
one.
Yeah, it's like a Castlevania style. Now the art style was great for that game.
Yeah, it was a lot of colors to it, and
Yeah.
I love those kind of games that add the colors of pop to it.
Yeah.
And I love the fact, the one good thing that I love about PlayStation, Xbox I think has a little bit of a hard time with it. I love the fact that PlayStation is a little bit more negotiable with Nintendo, with some of their games. The only problem is with the Switch not being updated as far as the hard. Now,
I kind of wish the Switch was a little bit more
I wish it was a
powerful.
little bit more powerful, but
Like it could do 4K, but not 4K all the way.
but it's been amazing that even though they haven't updated, now we do hope that they come up with a new version of it. But I
Yeah.
love the fact that it's still playing as the underdog role. Now, some people may disagree with me with that, and that's fine. But the Nintendo Switch, you know, if you go back and look at all the numbers with the COVID and all that, who sold the more consoles? Nintendo did.
Nintendo Switch.
Because the PS5 had trouble getting all these consoles out there. And part of the problem was not getting enough workers, just like with any job. But another problem was they didn't have enough games to put out there for the PlayStation.
Animal
Oh,
Crossing during that time period sold a lot of copies, and Switch sold a lot of hardware for Animal Crossing.
I think the reason for that was a lot of people say, well, I can't go outside literally do something, so I'm just going to try to do it in this game.
I can do all that in the game. So there you go.
So it's like, hey, look, I'm outside. I'm like, it's like, dude, you need a life. No, I'm just kidding. I used to play a whole lot of it, but here's the thing: I haven't played the Animal Crossing game since.
My village is probably overgrown with weeds.
Yeah.
Tom Nook, I probably got to pay him thousands of dollars in taxes.
You owe about 300,000 bells. It's
Probably so.
like, what? So that's gonna be
Yeah.
it. It's like, oh, so the debt's about as much as what we're paying in America right now.
Probably.
As far, you know, but Animal Crossing was very interesting. The only problem is
It wasn't for me.
it ends up becoming one of those simulator games.
Life Simulator. And
Life Simulator
and
lets you have
it's
a PlayStation, and it's just, you know.
It was alright. It's just not for me.
But I love. But the thing is, you know, with Nintendo, they've had some issues with, for example, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, I know a lot of people,
goodness!
Now a lot of people have issues with the glitches.
Huge Pokemon fan. That game, full of glitches.
Full of glitches. I mean, you walk just 2 steps and you fall through a hole. I mean, and then the mountains just kind of look all. It's like they just got very lazy with
they
art
go
style.
in and out, in and out. It's like
You can't. There are some buildings you can't even go into, which is, it's like
it's ridiculous.
part of your body's inside of it and part of your body's out. I mean, it's just those kind of, and that kind of shows you the difference between the Nintendo company. I think Pokemon's more of a different.
Yeah,
It's more of a monopoly type company.
Yeah,
in other words, they don't have competition there.
Because Pokemon is their own company, and I think they teamed up with Nintendo.
Well, they had a company that was they have a company that was just very lazy, and they said, well, as long as we can sell the copies, then that's all that matters.
Well, the thing is, like I heard from other YouTubers, Pokemon can put out any kind of game, and it's going to sell a lot of copies, no matter what, and that's just how it is.
And that's the problem. And I think if they had more competition, then that would probably convince them a little bit more.
And if Pokemon would have teamed up with another company that was familiar with open world games, this game could have been gorgeous and ran perfectly on Switch, have no problems like it's doing now if they would have done that.
And the thing is, you know, people are saying, why can't it be like Breath of the Wild? I mean, look how successful that was with the graphics there. And everybody keeps saying, well, the Switch has issues. I'm like, well,
it does.
It has potential, though, but people don't seem to want to push that potential. And it seems like some of the Pokemon games have been... Now I've heard Pokemon's... Of course, he could tell you right now, Pokemon Shield and Sword, all those games had better graphics than that one did.
Yeah, and they actually run them much better.
So if they could do that with that, why didn't they do that with Scarlet and Violet? It's just like...
Well, I guess it was they got their hands into an open world situation, and it was like it was too much for them. And they needed somebody else to come in and say, hey...
Well, then they had the deadlines they had to meet. And that's explainable.
And it's also merchandise and the anime. And it all goes hand in hand with each other.
Yeah, it sure does.
Because if the game doesn't launch, the new anime can't launch, and the merch can't launch, and then money can't be made.
So, I mean, that's just part of the problem that Pokemon has. So, it's business stuff. And when I watched that... When I watched that PlayStation Direct, and
oh yeah,
I want to take it with a grain of salt, but I mean, I'm going to be positive on one thing. I love the fact that they announced the big game. We all were. I think we were all expecting it. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Now, what's different about this game is switching from, as many of y'all probably saw the showcase, you could switch from one Spider-Man to another.
It was Peter Parker. I just ruined his identity. Sorry. But there's Spider-Man and there's Miles Morales Spider-Man. You can switch between both of them, which is very interesting.
And, you know, of course, according to my buddy here, he was telling me how dark it was. I'm like, well, it's always dark when you have Venom in it. But,
yeah, of course, yeah.
But I love how they didn't just show like 2 minutes and it was done.
Yeah,
they pulled out all the stops with that
almost 11 minutes of gameplay, and it was fantastic.
I mean, I will tell you right now, if you know, the buttons are going to be very difficult to follow.
Yeah, it's very.
If you thought Miles Morales was bad, I can't tell you how many times I died on several times because I didn't click the right button at the right time.
Yeah,
you're going to have a hard time with this one.
Yeah, this game had some similarities of what Uncharted 4 did, when you was sliding around the water in certain types of environment, like you're being pulled by something. This Spider-Man 2 game had moments just like that, where you're sliding around the water and stuff, and it's going to be crazy.
And it's going to, and so that game interests me a lot because I'm a huge Spider-Man game. I played that Spider-Man game on the PS2. That tells you how big of a fan I was.
Yeah.
I didn't play the original Spider-Man, but I did play Spider-Man 2 all the way up to Miles Morales.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I mean, those kind of games have been, I don't know, they have been something else.
Yeah, they've been great.
Now, I will say the other ones that looked kind of interesting, one of them was called, Sword in the Sea?
Sword in the Sea. It's a company that makes the game Absol, Pathless, and
Journey, right?
And The Journey. And those games have very interesting art style, fantastic gameplay, and I'm expecting Sword in the Sea or Sword and the Sea.
You see, that's the kind of creativity that I like from
And it's
these
an
different
indie
companies.
game, but that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a bad game.
That's right, and that's the thing, like, cause you always have these hidden gems, and
Yeah,
in
that's
these kind of games,
That's gonna be
no,
hidden gem.
nobody thought like games like Earthbound, some of these others weren't going
Oh,
to be that
yeah.
good, you know. But
Oh my goodness.
anyway, but I tell you what, the Final Fantasy games, I never played them, but what they showed in the trailer, I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna be. I think that's
I
gonna
mean,
be a big hit.
The graphics are gorgeous, but I've never really been a huge Final Fantasy gamer. I've played a little bit of the Final Fantasy VII remake. It gets a lot of love. I agree, it's fantastic.
Well, I think it's a lot of love because a lot of these gamers have these they have the strategy mindset.
Plus,
What
they
can I
grew
do?
up with the original Final Fantasy VII, and this game is being remade and split into 3 parts.
And and then of course all the Final Fantasy games, the side scroller games. I mean, I tell you that.
Yeah.
The side quests and all that you had to do in those games, man.
Yeah. And
I didn't play them, but I can honestly tell you right now, I mean,
and now that I think about it, it's kind of funny and also not kind of funny because I just now thought about it. I have the original Final Fantasy on 7 on PS1. It's got 3 discs, and the remake is being split into 3 games. Well, wow. Okay.
yeah, that was crazy when they showed that. And that was unexpected. I don't think anyone expected
Yeah.
to see that. And then of course the Metal Gear games.
Oh, now my first entry into the Metal Gear Solid was Metal Gear Solid 5. Now it's not your normal COD game. You're playing as this soldier and you're sneaking around taking enemies out. It's a little bit different. It's also got some sci-fi elements into it. It looks interesting, so I might end up playing that Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. It looks great, in my opinion.
And then you got that one. And one of the things I like about Spider-Man 2, I love the fact that they put in a different villain this time. Besides just the lizard,
yeah.
they came up with Kraven the Hunter.
Kraven,
And
yes.
they are expected to do a movie on that, which we don't know the date for it, but they are working on that right now.
And that movie is going to be rated R, which actually fits because Kraven is brutal.
He's very brutal. If y'all have read the comics or seen the cartoon, you know how brutal he was.
Brutal, yeah.
He was literally
not as brutal as Carnage, but brutal.
Oh my, yeah. You want to talk about rated R ketchup and
oh my god.
Go watch the Venom and Carnage movie, which
Yeah.
I didn't for a very good reason.
I haven't watched it yet, but I saw the first Venom movie, enjoyed it. I haven't seen that sequel yet, but I want to.
I think I want to see that for real, just because I love the character of Venom.
I have it.
He's my favorite. One of my favorite. He's not necessarily a villain or a good guy, but he's kind of like a shadow.
Well, if you're interested, I have Venom, so if you want to watch it later before you end up leaving, and if you don't like the movie, we can shut it off.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good.
We could do that. So
yeah, because I have it.
Might do that. So, but yeah, the PlayStation Showcase. If I were to get, and I believe he told y'all this the other night, was I would definitely give that. A lot of people ranked it as a C.
Yeah.
I give it more of a D
D,
because there were a lot of games. 6 games was literally shooting games, and look. There are some shooting games they're okay.
Yeah, of course.
But it's like, but where are the other companies that are invested? Like Insomniac and some of those.
Yeah,
other games? I
yeah.
didn't see any kind of game that came out with those.
Like I talked about in my prediction video, I don't think it's ever going to happen, but maybe it will somehow. I want Sly Cooper back. I want Spyro 4 back. Games like that. That's what I want back.
Yeah, or maybe upgrade a different Spyro game.
Yeah, like they just do something. bring those games. Give us a variety. Give the gamers that want the violence and the gore, and then give us games like that so we have a variety.
Make a balance. I mean, there are a lot of families out there that are going to look at those games like Alone in the Dark 2, those kind of games.
Resident Evil.
Yeah,
that's not for everybody.
No.
I like Resident Evil, but he doesn't, so that's fine.
Well, and the thing is, I mean, but then you got these families saying, "Or is this good for my kids to have?" I mean, if you're gonna sell games, do a variety. I mean, it's okay to have those kind of games.
Yeah, sure.
But make it a variety because that's how Nintendo was successful in all different ages.
Oh yeah, sure.
And I hate to say this, but I don't think PlayStation's ever going to get to that point. Now, I could be wrong. They could try to take a different. If they see that their sales are dropping, it may encourage them to do something else.
We'll see.
Because they are in competition with Xbox right now.
That's true.
And I will say right now
and then Xbox and Nintendo are best friends because we got a lot of ports from Xbox over to the Switch, like the Ori games, Cuphead. They're all on Switch now.
The Ori game was fantastic.
Yes,
on the Xbox Series, and
gorgeous.
I will say right now though is if you know the PlayStation. I don't know what y'all thought about the headwear, not headwear, but the gear.
Yeah.
The Project Q.
Oh, you talking about the new PlayStation handheld?
The handheld that's trying to copy the Switch.
I didn't think they were ever going to make another PlayStation handheld, but they're going.
It did surprise me a little bit, but I also wasn't surprised at how it was going to look because there were rumors about it.
Only.
And the way it looked with splitting the, I'm not sure how I feel about it.
It looks stupid. It looks like the DualSense PS5 controller split in half with a screen in the center. That's exactly what it is.
Pretty much that's what it is. And I do not like the fact you have to have a strong Wi-Fi in order to do that.
Not everybody has that.
And not everybody has PlayStation Remote. They don't have that.
And we got 4 minutes to do a review on Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
So there's your review for the showcase, but before we get into that, so like I said, PlayStation has to step it up. Xbox has to step it up.
Yeah, they do.
But Nintendo right now, like I said, it'll be interesting to see what this next Direct will be because I would not be surprised if they come up with something.
Yeah.
Now, I know everybody's been saying, well, we heard this every year, but I'm telling you, we're getting to that point now with the lifespan of the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I would want the next console to be the Switch too, but
it seems like they're doing a very good job at making it. I love how they keep the patience with the fans. Say, hey, be patient, we're working on it. And I think Tears of the Kingdom, which leads us to Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
How that patience is helping that crowd get ready for that. So
that game is so creative and it's so massive. It gets overwhelming sometimes. I have to take a break from playing Tears of the Kingdom and go play a normal linear.
I have literally played 25 hours. I spent maybe 3 hours trying to solve one stinking temple in that game.
Yeah, and then while you're running around outside, you got to worry about these arms grabbing you out of nowhere.
Yeah, that caught my attention going through the plateau. I was just trying to find another shrine. All of a sudden, it grabs me, and I'm sitting there going, no, don't take away all my hearts that I worked so hard for.
And then trees literally come to life.
I'm sitting there going,
what?
What are we trying to add here, Lord of the Rings?
It's like, I got fire, and I got an axe, and I'm not afraid to use it on that wood and turn you into wood, because that's what you are. But it's walking and chasing you. It's like,
And what's funny is when you do set on fire, what it does, it runs away.
Yeah.
It's like oh, I'm gonna go back to my spot.
But
what they should have done.
Yeah.
What they should have done was once the tree sees you, it just drops, just like some kind of. That would have been even. I would have been like.
But
I was like, I saw you.
But you can create cars in this game. You can create robots that fight each other. This game is so creative and so imaginative. It's insane.
That goes all the way back. What we talked about in this video was how creative Nintendo continues to be, and PlayStation, Xbox. Until you get some people that can be that creative, you're not going to beat. You're not going to beat the sales that Nintendo's doing right now.
Yeah, because we're not trying to spoil Tears of the Kingdom. We're just trying to tell you what's in the game and how creative it is. But this game, as an IGN gave it, and other companies like that, I believe this game deserves that 10 out of 10. What do you think?
It really does, and it was amazing how, and the thing is, we talked about the leaks and all that came out. I think it was worth it. However, we also got to be aware of Nintendo Ninjas are out there.
Those things are real.
One guy tried to show off the game.
And he got in big trouble.
He got in really big trouble, and Nintendo could have sued him for. I don't know if they're going to sue him for lots of money or not.
We'll see.
But Nintendo Ninjas are known to take people's channels down because of the result of it. Mm-hmm. So be very careful what you put on YouTube when it comes to mods. We know that one YouTuber got in trouble with that, but we're not going to mention him.
Yeah, but this game is definitely not $70 DLC. This is a brand new Zelda game.
And to those of you that think that Zelda's for kids. No, it's not.
It's for everybody.
You could definitely tell this one, if those speedrunners are going to have a very interesting time trying to get to the boss in this game.
And
It's just so much to do. You got the side quests. Now, Breath of the Wild, it was easier because you would always freeze the object
yeah.
and hit the object, and you can just fly across the map.
Yep.
Can't do it in this one.
And sadly, we're going to have to soon end the video. But man, thank you for coming. Thank you for doing this video with me. And maybe we get to do it again sometime.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
And please let me know down in the comments. This guy is great, man. If you want him, Tim, to seriously do a channel, say it down in the comments.
Make a comment, because if I don't get comments, I'm not going to do it. But
yeah.
if you are interested in some of the consoles I have, all the games I have, please let me know. I will tell you, if I do my channel, I'm just going to tell you, I'm a family-friendly guy.
Yeah.
Same
here.
And also, I'm not going to be like all these other YouTubers that just talk negative about everything. Look, I'm going to give you the good sides and the downsides.
Exactly.
And look, if you disagree with me politely, do that. But if you're going to make comments, keep them
friendly.
And
if you're going to say something nice, say it. If you're going to say something opposite than nice, don't say nothing at all.
Yeah, just don't say anything at all. But at the same time, like I said, I love the Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch.
Same here.
But like I said, I grew up with Nintendo and Sega, and I love Sonic. He's my favorite. I know everybody hates on Sonic. There's some gamers out there that hate him, but
yeah.
Sonic I know we're over time, but I
Yeah.
want to quickly mention Sonic Frontiers.
I'm going to soon play it.
I know that there's been a lot of hate, but the thing is, everybody hates on everybody on every game.
Yeah.
But Sonic Frontiers on the PS5, it's been
amazing.
amazing. I love it. I love it. So that's my. I guess it's just me being biased on Sonic, but I really loved Sonic Forces game. All those other ones that came out. And by the way, one more thing, the Sonic Collection comes out in June, right?
The Origins Collection.
Origin Collection, and I'm hoping to maybe get that maybe one day. So
Physical copy, yes, please.
But I appreciate this man right here, man. He's worked so hard, the last few years doing this. I watch his videos, and he's
350 subscribers, and thank y'all so much.
Keep it up. This guy's something else.
Thank y'all.
I love you guys. So
all right.
But let me know in the comments if you want me to do a channel. So
all right, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.